Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this video we will create a complete third-person shooter game from scratch with use of Invector, and this is on the demand of certain students because they have some problems with integrating Invector mobile controls. So let's start, and we will create a new project, and definitely we will select the 3D and we will name our project. So we can name the project third person shooter mobile, and then we can click on create the project. After creation of project we will move further. For Invector and its components you can visit our website insert.net, and here you can type Invector in search and you will find the Invector modules. Here you will have Invector third-person shooter main template, you will have FSM AI template you can't see here. So for FSM, because with search it's not visible, so here you have to type FSM. So here you will find FSM AI template, which is necessary for creating shooter AI. So the assets available on insert.net are quite good, and you have to install the same versions. If you have problem with the versions, so if you have another version of Invector and AI template, so it may conflict and it may create some problems. So I already have these modules, and we will import these modules now after opening the project. Okay, so now our project is open. The first thing we have to do is to switch our platform, because we are building our game for Android. So this is the main problem usually people do, and they have problems with touch control. So first of all, the first thing, we have to go to build settings, we have to select Android, and then we will switch platform to Android. We can do so after importing the assets of Invector and other assets which we can use in our game, but it will create a problem and switching platform will take a lot of time. Now you can see it's taking very less time for converting a platform, so it will take some time, and that's it. You can see now we are ready to build our game with Android. So first thing first, we will import the assets, and here you can see we have assets. First of all, we will import third-person controller shooter, then we will import FSM AI template asset, and then I will show you that how we will import the cross-platform and how we will implement. So I will import these two assets, and we will resume the video after importing of these two assets. Okay, so both assets are imported, and now we will import our third asset, cross platform input. Here you can see that after importing assets you will find some errors here. If you go to console you will find some errors, but these errors are not actually the stoppable errors. So if we play the game, hopefully the game will be played, and you can see that these errors are not blocking the game and any other functionality. So no worry with these errors. After that, we already have converted our game to Android, so now we can import our cross-platform input asset. So for that purpose we will select cross-platform input asset, and we will drag drop this asset into our project, and then we will click on import, and that's it. It will be imported. Sometime after import, when we test the mobile sample demo scenes, usually they didn't work. So for that purpose you have to close the Unity, and then you have to reopen your project, and then hopefully everything will work absolutely fine. Mobile assets are imported, and now you can see that if we open Invector third person shooter controller, and here if we go to shooter demo scenes, and you will find some demo scenes here like 2.5D shooter, and here you can see the mobile Invector. Here you can see the mobile with inventory, etc. So if we open this scene contains the mobile controls. So if we play the scene, then you will see that hopefully the mobile controls will work, hopefully. So let's see. Yeah, you can see we can move, we can aim, we can shoot, we can move in the screen as well, we can zoom as well, I think. And where is the zoom button? I don't know. So zoom button is hidden, I think. So yeah, here it is, zoom, and you can see we can shoot the enemy. Everything is working absolutely fine, and now we will see how we can create our game with use of this Invector asset. So let's start. In scenes, we will create our first scene, and we can go to scene, and here we will name this scene as a main menu, and in the main menu we will definitely design our main menu, then we can create other menus. So if we move back, and if we open this demo scene, you can see that everything is ready, almost ready, and we can just customize the things. So shooter mobile with inventory scene, we can just open this, we can just save this scene, and in scenes folder we will save the scene as a level 1. That's nice, everything is fine. Now we need some assets, because this is a mobile game, so we don't need heavy assets for our game. So we will definitely search for some light assets. So I think I should have some low poly assets. So here you can see we have some fantasy village, forest, polygon city, and battle royale pack, and polygon science fiction, and we have some assets here. So let's import this polygon western pack asset, and let's see what this asset has. So let's import this asset, it will take some time, and then we will resume the video. Okay, so now the asset is imported. Now we can delete this level 1, because level 1 is totally empty, and we can find the asset. You can see polygon western asset, and we can just go to demo scene. We can open the demo scene, and you can see that we have a nice scene here. Definitely we don't need camera in this scene, we will just delete the camera, and other assets also we need these assets in a proper way. So I will just create a empty object, I will just rename it to environment, and then we will select all the assets, and we will just drag drop these assets into environment, so the things should be categorized. Now we will save this scene as a level 1. So just go to save as, go to scenes, and here we can add level 1. Actually not level 1, we will just make a prefab of this environment. I think that is a better idea. Okay, so let's do one thing. Here we will create a prefab folder, prefabs, and inside prefab we will just drag drop this environment. So now we have a prefab for environment. Now we can go to scenes, and actually we will save that scene as a level 1. Yeah, actually shorter. I just make some mistakes. So where it is, mobile with inventory. Okay, this is a good scene. Configuration is fine, so let's save it. Scenes, level 1, enter. Now we can go to scenes, open the level 1, and in level 1 we don't need this environment at all, but I think we have some enemies. Yeah, we have enemies outside the environment, so we can just delete the environment. No need of this. We can go to prefabs, we can drag drop this environment here in the hierarchy, so that's nice. Now we will select the player. Actually we can delete the enemies right away, we don't need these enemies. And now we will select the player. We will enter the press F for zoom in the player, and everything is working absolutely fine. I think let's play the game and test whether everything is working fine or not. Yeah, that's nice. We can move, we can shoot, we can aim, and we can zoom as well. So everything is working absolutely fine. Now we will move further and we will work on main menu. So in scenes we have main menu, and we will open the main menu scene, and here in assets we will create a new folder for sprites or textures. So I will name this as sprites, and in sprites we will add some images, like background image for main menu like this. And I just have imported this image, downloaded this image. I will just drag drop this image inside sprites. Also I have some UI icons which I have actually this asset for another game, but we can reuse these assets again and again. So we can explore the UI icons, and I will just drag drop this asset here. So this asset contains everything we needed for graphics, UI. Also we have buttons as well, and also we have icons for the game UI as well. So let's wait for some seconds and we will resume the video. Okay, so now if we open the UI icons, you can see we have these icons as well. I have buttons here as well. So here inside the sprite, we will just select the sprite and we will convert every sprite into 2D, sprite 2D. Also for mobiles we have to decrease the size, maximum size, to 512 for better performance. So it's very important. So if you are building a game for mobiles, you should decrease the texture size to something like 512 or maybe lower than this if you need much more performance. It will not impact in graphics too much. So the result will be absolutely fine, I think. So here if we go to icons, I think that we have round icons, we have square icons. I think we will use this these icons, flat icons. So we can select sprite 2D, and we can select the graphic size and apply it. That's nice. We have sprites ready to go. So let's create a UI canvas for our main menu. We will right click in hierarchy, we will go to UI, we will create a canvas, and for canvas we will do some basic settings. So here in canvas scaler we will make it scale with screen size, and here we will add a resolution. So we need 1280 into 720 resolution, and scale with screen size will make it compatible with all screen modes. In game view we can change free aspect to 1280 into 1280 into 720 landscape. Here it is, and that's it. Now in canvas we will create a panel. So let's go to UI panel. We will rename panel to background, and we will add our image here in source images. We can change the transparency, so we will make it fully visible. Also we can change the color overlay if we want. I will just make it I think a little bit grayish, so it will look nice. And now in scenes view we can see the image itself like this. Okay, moving further, we will add buttons now, and before that we can also animate the background. So you can animate the buttons. You can watch my tutorial on animation for main menu. In this video we will just select the background. We can go to animation, we can create a new animation, and we can name this animation like background. And then in this animation we will just start the play button, and then we can just change it like 1, and again we will make it 0, and then we will select this. We will just move it little bit like this, and then to the second frame we can move it like this. Third frame. Definitely you can watch video on animations for creation of nice animation and transitions for main menu. So now we will just like this, and then the first frame we will just copy it and we will paste it at the end. And now if we play, you can see very fast animation. Okay, so for making it a little bit smooth, we can extend the animation to higher level. So let's make it around 4 seconds maybe, and here we can add 3 seconds, 2 not seconds actually, these are the frames, and then we can make it like this, and we can just extend it. So let's play it, and you can see a very nice transition, although still we need it to extend to I think 6, and then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Definitely you can make your own transitions. And here if we go to game mode, you can see it's moving, but it's still very fast, and I am not impressed with this. So let's make it 12, then 10, then 8, then 6, then 4 maybe, and then 2 maybe. And now you can see that the transition is quite good. So in this way you can create your transitions, also for buttons as well, but we will not do transitions for buttons. We will just save it, go to project, and then we will open UI icons, and we have flat buttons here. We will just right click on canvas and we can create our UI, and then we can actually create the button. So if you press F, you can see the button is here, and initially we will just delete the text of the button because it will be compressed when we will do changes, and then we will put our icon. So let's add this green button for the first button, and then we will just make it bigger like this, and then when we are happy we can just click on canvas UI, and then we will add text, and for this text we will make it play. Also we will make its color white, and we will make it in the middle, and then we will make it overflow, and then you can see very small text here, so we'll make it bigger, something like 60 maybe, and then we will definitely make it in the middle, and we will make it bold as well. So when we are satisfied, we can drag drop this text in button, and then we can rename this button name to play, maybe, sorry, the cap locks was on, so I will just rename it to play like this. Okay, so after creation of play button, we can just duplicate this button, Control D, and this button will be about button. We can move it like this. Again we will duplicate the button, we will just move it here, and for this button we will make it options, and then we needed last button, which is exit button, so we can make it quit or exit, whatever you want. We will move this button over here, and then we will select all the buttons. We will move all buttons at appropriate point. We will also check in game view whether these buttons look nice or not, and then if we are happy with this result, we can just change the colors with these sprites like this, and for the quit button, and then finally we will change the texts. So for last button we can add quit here or exit here. For options we will change the text to options. For about we will change text to about, and that's it. Now the second thing is to add functionality for these buttons. For that we definitely need script for it, but before creating script we will add some loading screen function, so that if we click on play our level should be loaded. So let's do this. So in canvas we will click here, we will go to UI, and we will create another panel, and for this panel we will rename this panel to loading, sorry, loading screen, and for this panel we can make it a little bit big. We will make it color black maybe, or we can put any other sprite as well if we want. I will just make it a little bit bigger, and for transparency we will remove the transparency. I think we can add some sprite for this loading screen. So let's move to loading screen and add the similar sprite, and we will change the color to something like blue maybe. Okay, so that's nice for loading screen. So yeah, that's nice. So now we will need a slider for loading method. So for that purpose we can just click here, we can go to UI and we can go to slider. Inside slider we don't need this handle slide area, we can delete it. We can select the slider and we will make it bigger like this. After that we can change the background color of the slider. I will just make it blue maybe, like this. Yeah, this blue is good, I think, a little bit brighter. And then we have a fill area. So if we select the slider, you can see that here we have this method of value which we can increase, and this fill area will be increased. So for this fill area we will select the fill area, and we will when we make the value 1, we will just click on edit and we'll make it bigger exactly like slider, the background. Then we will select the slider, and here if we check it, you can see now we have nice slider here. We need direction left to right and minimum and maximum value 0 to 1. Now for fill area color, we can select the fill inside the fill area, and then we can change the fill to something like blue actually. And for background we can just change the background to red color, I think, so that's better. Now we need text. So for text we can just click here, we can just go to UI, we can go to text, and then this text we will drag drop it into slider, and we will just rename it to loading like this, and we will change the color of the text to something like white, and then we will change its font size, and we will make it a middle, we will make it overflow so it will be visible, and I think 30 will work fine. So when we are happy with the text, then that's it, we have already loading screen with a slider and a text. Okay, so now we will just hide this loading screen, and this is our main menu, and we will write a script for loading the next level. So just go to create, and here we will, I will just create a folder first. So let's create a scripts folder, create, and we will go to folder. Here we can name this folder to scripts, scripts. Actually my eyesight become weak, so scripts. Okay, so now okay, the spelling is mistaken. Scripts. Okay, now it's fine. So now in scripts folder we can create any script, and we will name it loading bar, or whatever name you can assign, it's up to you. And we will open this script, and let's see how we will implement the loading bar functionality. Okay, so now we are in scene loading scene script, and first of all we will include two libraries using Unity Engine dot scene management. Also we need UI, so using Unity Engine dot UI. So now we need some basic variables. So first variable we need is public game object, and we need loading screen game object. We also need a slider, so we can say public slider, and we can name it slider. You can name it whatever you want. And then we have public text, and we can name it loading text. After that, we will just create a function here. So we will say public void, and we can name this function. So for example, we need load level function, like this. And in this function we will assign integer, and here we will name that integer to scene index, so we can add our scene index manually. And here we will run a coroutine, start coroutine, and definitely we will create that coroutine first. So here I will just add the coroutine, and then we will create the coroutine. So here I will say load asynchronically, okay, like this. And then we will run the scene index here. Okay, so like this, scene index. And now we will create our coroutine. So for creating coroutine, we can just add I enumerator, and then we will definitely add load. I will just copy this function, load asynchronically, whatever name you can assign. It's not important that you should use the same name. So here we will say int and scene index, scene index, like this. And then we will create our function. Okay, so here we will say asynchronization, async operation, and we will name it operation, like this, is equal to, and here we will say scene manager dot load scene async, and here we will assign the scene index, like this. Also for this we need loading screen dot set active, and we need it to be true. And also we will create a while function here, while, and we will say that if not operation dot is done, then what we need. Okay, so here we will say float progress. We are creating a new variable here, which is float, and here we will say math f dot clamp, and actually clamp 0, sorry, dot clamp 01 we will use here. Okay, and then here we will say operation dot progress divided by 0.9f, like this. So after this we will say slider dot value, because we want to change the value of slider, is equal to progress, and then we will say progress loading text dot text is equal to progress plus 100 f multiply by, and here we will put the percentage sign. Okay, so here we will add plus, and here we will add multiply. Okay, and then we will say yield return, and we will return null like this. And now you can see we don't have any error now, and that's it. Everything is related to loading screen is ready now. And now we will create one more function for quit or exiting the game. So here we can say public void quit game function, and for this function we can just say application dot quit, and that's it. We can save the script. We can go to Unity now, and inside Unity we can now add this script. Okay, so let's create a game object here, and I will just rename it to loading bar. You can name it whatever you want. We can drag drop this script over here, and now you can see loading screen, slider, and loading text. Before, yeah, we can actually add loading screen. Let's add it here. Slider, we just drag drop here, and for text just add it text here. So now before testing this out, what we want to do, we go to scenes. We will just go to build settings, and we will add our scenes. So main menu is here and level 1 is here. So now you can see that main menu is on 0 index and level 1 is on 1 index. So we want to load level 1. Okay, so what we will do, we will just go to play button, and now we need play function on play button. So we will select play button. We will go to on click function. Let's add on click function. We will drag drop this object which contains a loading script, and here in function we will go to loading bar, and then we will select load level function. Here inside this number we will add 1, because we want to load level 1 when we click on play. Also for quit, we will select quit. We will click on click. We will just drag drop this loading bar script, and we will select the quit function, quit game function. That's nice. So now if we play the game, hopefully you will see that we will have a nice loading screen. So if we click on any button, you can see nothing happens. Quit will work when the game is built, and if we click on play, you can see very nice loading screen, and our level 1 is loaded absolutely fine without any errors. So that's nice. We have successfully added our game menu. Before going further, I will just shortly add about and options menu, so you should understand that how we can do that. So we can just click here, and actually this background panel, we can add these buttons, because this is a panel. So for making it separate, we can just drag drop these buttons here, or we can create another panel as well if you want. And let's create another panel, I think. So if we go to UI, and we can create a new panel, and we can rename it to about. Okay, and for about menu, we will add we have similar background, this one. Okay, so we don't need to change the background. So for this panel transparency, we don't need the transparency at all, so let's make it 0. So now we have a panel and we need buttons. We need actually the text inside this panel. So let's hide these buttons, because we don't need these buttons. And before hiding, we can just select the quit button, duplicate it, and we will rename it to back. Okay, like this. And we will add this button in about panel. Yeah, actually for main menu we should have a panel as well, because we will switch between the panels. So let's add another panel here, UI panel, and we will name it main menu, main panel, or menu, whatever you want. And then we will make it transparent as well, so we don't need the transparency. And then we will select all the objects and we will drag drop it inside main menu. Okay, so now that's great. Now we can just hide this main menu and we can work on about menu. So let's go to about, and we can just change the text of the back menu. We can just make it back like this. Make it capital back, and that's nice. Now in about panel we can just go to UI, we can enter text, and we can make it about for example about this game, like this. So I'm just adding the sample text. You can definitely make it better. So I will just make it here, and I will just copy it and paste it like this, paste it like this, like this, and we will make it overflow and overflow. And also here we can add some spacing like this. So we can select the text and we can make it middle as well. So like this you can definitely add about text, and like this you can add other menus as well, and you can make backgrounds and other things as well. It's up to you. So this text we will add it into about menu as well. So now this is the about menu, and then we will duplicate this menu and we can rename it to options like this. And in options menu definitely you can change the properties as well. Okay, so now we will we are in options menu, so we will select the back button, and here on this button we have to add the on click function. So this on click function we don't need, so we will delete this on click, and here we will just move the options button here, and we will select the function. We will go to game object, we will make it active, and we will unactivate the options panel. Okay, so we will click on plus, we will select the main menu, where it is main menu. Actually my eyesight is weak. So main menu panel, and then we will go to game object, set active bool, and we will check this main menu. Okay, that's great. Now we will select the about menu, we will select the button, we will go to button, and we will just add the similar function. We will select the about button panel here, we will go to game object, we will make it inactive, we will click here, we will drag drop main menu here, and then we will select it game object and set active enable. That's nice. Now we will just uncheck the about menu, and we will go to main menu. We will enable the main menu, we will go to about button, we will go to on click function, we will drag drop the main panel, we will make main panel inactive. We will click here, we will go to about, we will drag about panel here, we will select the function game object set bool and we will enable it. Options, we will select the options, we will click on click, we will select the options panel, we will make it active and we will select the main menu and we will go to game object set active and we will make it disabled. That's it, we have successfully created our main menu. Let's play the game. And now you will see that if we click on about, we are on about menu. If we click on options, we are on options menu, and if we play, then our level will be loaded and we are in new level. That's great. In next video we will move further with our game. Okay, so moving further, we will now customize our player. For customizing the player, you can download your own character from mixamo.com or asset store. You can download your own desired asset, the character, and I will just go to asset store and I will download some character, and then we will use that character for our game. So it's taking some time. Okay, on asset store I just typed bodyguard because this is a very nice asset for character. So I will just it's also free, so I will just click here and we will import this asset into our project. After that we will customize the main character of our game. So I will show you how we can do that. So let's import this asset and we will wait for some seconds. Okay, so now we have imported the asset, and here in hierarchy you can see we have bodyguard asset and we also have meshes. So we'll go to scenes view, and here we have our first scene. Let's zoom on the player itself and you can see that everything is ready with the player. So what we can do, we can just change the mesh of this player. You can see that we don't have the prefab of this player, so it's open. So we can just change the mesh of this player. So we will choose our desired mesh, whatever we want, and I will use this one. That's look nice, and we can just rotate it to 90 degree, and then we will place it at the position where we want. So you can just make it as accurate as you can, and when you are happy, then what we can do, we can just drag drop this under a third person shooter, and here you can see that we have this V-bot low poly and hips as well. So we'll select both and we will delete these meshes. So now we have third person shooter and we have this mesh. One thing we have to change is that you can see that for this mesh you can see skeleton mesh bodyguard. Okay, the animator controller, we don't need this animator controller here. We will delete this animator controller and we will move to the third person shooter, and here we will change the mesh avatar to bodyguard. So where it is, bodyguard, and we have skeleton mesh 01, I think. We'll recheck. Yeah, this is 01. So we have added 01, and let's see what it will look like now. Let's play the game, and yeah, hopefully we are absolutely fine. You can see we can shoot, we can do everything. The problem is that the alignment of weapon is not good. So for aligning the weapon, we will just play the game, and then we will align the weapons manually. So for aligning the weapons, we will select the third person player, we will lock camera, lock aiming, and then we will go to scenes. In scenes we will select the weapon, and you will see that we have right hand, and then we have a default handler here. We will select the default handler, we will select the rotate tool, and then we will rotate the weapon accordingly. So definitely you can rotate it with small flicks, or I think sorry, here it is fine, and then we will make it up, and yeah, that's good I think, and little bit more maybe, or lesser. Yeah, I think here it is fine, although the weapon we can just make it little bit like this, and little bit outside. And then we will select move tool, and we will move the weapon exactly in the hands of our player, okay, like this. Sorry, default handler, and like this. When we are happy with the result, then what we will do, we will fix this left hand after fixing the default handler, okay. It's not related to default handler, so we'll select the default handler, we will click here, copy component, okay, transform values, click here to uncheck the play mode, and then we will paste the values here, paste component values. Now if we play the game, hopefully the handling of weapon will be much more better. You can see, yeah, that's nice, and yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we will actually set up the left hand IK. So for that we will select the third person shooter, and again we will lock camera and lock aiming. We'll go to scenes, and then here in shooter manager we will open the properties, sorry, not these properties, we will open the properties of actually the shooter manager, and then we will go to IK, and then we will zoom in a little bit. So I think if we select the default handler and go to go here, and then if we select instance, then we will go to IK, and here inside IK you can find a lot of options here. So we want to manipulate left hand IK, so we will keep it here maybe, and then we will make rotation of x-axis. You can see our hand is rotating, okay. Y-axis like this, and z-axis like this, and I think we have to move it to z-axis like this, and also we want it to y-axis little bit. We can also change the position with these fields. So yeah, I think this is okay. So if you are happy with the result, then that's it. Then we can just copy the component, we can uncheck the play mode, we can go to shooter manager, we can paste component values, and that's it. Now hopefully if we play the game, hopefully the left hand icon will be fine, and yeah, that's nice. We gonna unlock aiming. Yeah, that's good, and aim is also good. Zoom, little bit of you can see rotation is there, but it's okay. You can understand and you can change it according to your own needs. So our player is ready. So now we can go to prefabs, and here we can place our player. So I will just rename the player. Let's rename it to player like this, and we can make prefab if we want to make it. Okay, so we can make it, but I will not make the prefab. We can make prefab at the end of our chapters. Okay, so let's move further. Now we want to customize this UI items. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's go to UI, and here are shooter mobile controls. So we can click any control, press F to focus, and here you can see we have these controls. We have jump control as well, which is actually not available, which is actually inactive, so we can make it active, and we can also move it to our desired position wherever we want. Okay, similarly we have some more options as well, so you can enable that options like sprint as well if you want. So now for time, we have these buttons, and we already have sprites for these buttons. You can make your sprites, and then we can replace these sprites with our own sprites. Okay, so let's start. Let's select the zoom button. In zoom button we will extend, we don't need the text at all, so let's delete the text. Select the zoom, and then here we will add zoom button like this. Okay, let's select this jump button. We will select text, we will delete the text, and we will add jump button here. We will select shoot, we will delete the text, we will select shoot, we will add shoot icon, we will select reload, and we will delete the text, we will select reload option. So here it is. After that we have lock target, and we will select lock target, and we have lock on target icon. Aim, so we can delete the text, and then we can add aim icon. So that's nice. Crouch. Okay, so let's select the crouch, and we can add crouch icon. We can select action button, we can delete the text, select the action, and add action icon. Roll button, text, delete it, roll, and we can add a roll icon. So in this way you can change your own icons. We have changed all the icons. Now the thing is that we need the transparency higher. Okay, so let's start from, yeah, actually we also need to change this left analog as well. So we can change the left analog if we want to do. So I think we have where we have the, yeah, this is the joystick option, so let's add it. and here it is. That's nice. Now here in color we can change the opacity value. So let's add 180 maybe. So 180 will look good, or 200 maybe. Okay, 200 is good figure. So let's select the roll button and the another button, crouch button, select the color, add the color to 200 and white. Okay, like this. Also for these buttons we will select all the buttons, we can select the color, we can choose white, and here we will add 200. That's nice. If you play the game you will see new icons for our UI. Yeah, that's nice. You can see we can move, we can shoot, and this problem of aiming is actually due to player, and then this default aiming property is enabled. Okay, so that is actually here, I think, aim, always aiming. So we will uncheck this. So now the problem will gone and it will not be in aim mode. Hopefully you understand the process, and everything is fine. Yeah, we can jump as well, we can aim, we can zoom, everything is fine. So let's move further, and now we will add some enemies. Okay, moving further, we will add enemies now. So we already have enemies inside Invector AI, and if you go to prefabs and enemies, you have already ready enemies here. We can just place these enemies and we can use these enemies. Also we can create our own enemies as well. So let's go to asset store, and we will find some enemies. So let's add some zombies. So let's go to search for assets, where it is. Yeah, we have searched the zombies, and we can download any of these zombies. So let's download this asset, and then we will make a Malee AI so that zombies can attack us, and we will shoot them. So let's download this asset. Okay, so now we have imported the zombies, and we can go to zombies, and here you can see we have prefabs. If we go to scene, and if we go to player, I think so, let's see how zombie will look like. So we will place zombie here, and I think the size is accurate, and yeah, size is accurate, and so we can create zombie AI. So let's create AI, Malee AI. So for creating Malee AI in Invector, we can go to Invector, we can go to AI controller, we can go to create a new AI, we will drag drop zombie here, we will just select the animator controller, which will be AI Malee combat, and then we will select the FSM behavior controller, which will be FSM Malee. After that we will create, and now we have this enemy, although its position is a little bit different. So I will just copy the player's position, and I will paste the position for zombie just for testing purpose. So now you can see that we have our zombie here, and when we select the zombie, you can see properties of zombie. So here if we open the Malee controller, and you will find a lot of properties related to waypoints, detection, etc. We have to come to detection, and here you have to select detect layer, which should be player, and detect tag should be player as well. Okay, it is very important. After that we have to select the Malee manager, and in Malee manager we have to open hit properties, and where, okay, open default info, and hit damage tags, and here you can see we have damage tag enemy selected. Okay, so we have to change this enemy to player, because enemy will attack player itself. Okay, so that's nice. So now it will detect our player and it will attack us, hopefully. Let's see what will happen. So it's very easy to create enemies in Invector. Definitely it's one video in which we are completing the course as zombie shooter game, so we will definitely shorten it, and we will not dive into deep topics. For detail in Invector, you can explore other Invector specific courses on the similar channel or in CERN, which is another channel. It's taking too much time. Sometimes Unity become too much slow, so let's see. So we will just move to zombie, and zombie will detect us, and you can see he can attack us. Okay, so let's, sorry, sometime gun handling becomes bad. Okay, so for solving this issue we will make prefab, and then we will bring player again in environment, and this issue will be solved. Okay, so you can see that zombie can attack us and he can kill us. Okay, so now we can definitely duplicate the zombies for creating our level, and that zombies will attack us. So let's make it like this. We will just place it here, and then we can definitely duplicate the zombie. Control D, Control D, Control D, like this, Control D. Okay, so we have added some zombies just for understanding the method. So here we can create waypoints. So waypoints are for the movement of these zombies. So we can go to Invector and we can create waypoint, but before creating waypoints it should be necessary to bake our environment as a nav mesh. Okay, nav mesh. So for that purpose we can go to window, and we can go to AI navigation, and you can see we have navigation tab. We will select our environment, and before that we will make our environment static. Okay, and then we will go to navigation, and we will go to bake, and we will click on bake. It will start baking our environment, and then after baking of our environment we will be able to play the game. So our enemy will move around without any problem. Okay, so now we have added the waypoint area, and you will see that zombies will follow the waypoint area. If we move further, they will attack us near to zombies. If we are in range, they will attack us. Definitely you can change the range and every factor, and you can see the details in another Invector courses. on the same channel or in sun. So let's wait for some seconds. Sometimes it shouldn't take too much time. So let's move further, and you can see that we have zombies here. Okay, and when we will move into their range, they will attack us. Okay, you can see they attacked us and they will kill us. Definitely, if we one more thing that related to a player is that in player settings we have to make one more setting which is very important for damaging the enemies. Okay, so it's very important. So if we move to third person controller, it is everything is fine. If you go to layers, yeah, everything is fine. If we move to damage layers here, yeah, this is very important. So here in shooter manager damage layers, we have selected, we should select the enemy here. Okay, so it's important, otherwise you can't damage the enemy. So we have to select default as enemy here. Other things are fine, I think, and yeah, everything is fine. Here you can select the items. Okay, you can add new item and you can select your desired gun, etc. So that's nice. In last, I will just show you how we can add the shooting enemy, so that you should have knowledge of creating the shoot enemy as well. So let's do that. For creating shoot enemy, we can go to Invector, we can go to AI controller, create a new UI, select the model, and then we will select Invector AI shooter. Then we will select FSM shooter, and then we will click on create, and you can see that we have a new shooter here, and this is actually the zombie with gun. Okay, so now we will move further, and we will see how we can add the gun for this enemy. So for adding gun, we will move to assets, we will go to Invector AI, we will go to prefabs, we will go to weapons, and here you can see different weapons. We can add any type of weapon for our AI. So in this case, let's add the AK-47, and this AK-47 we will add it inside zombies right hand. Okay, so if we open the spine hierarchy, here you can see spine hierarchy, and right arm, human aim, neck and right arm, and upper arm and lower arm, and then palm is actually hand. Okay, so that's nice. So in palm we will just drag drop our assault rifle in that point, the palm area. Okay, and then we will make its position to 0 0 0, and then we will move further, and you can see that we have this gun over here. We will adjust its transformation manually, like this, maybe like this, and okay, like this, and then uh, we will test it out. So before testing, I will just select this zombie and we will move it towards player so that we can analyze it easily. So sorry, press F to focus, and here we will add. So let's see, let's play the game. Hopefully he will hold the weapon now. Let's see. Okay, you can see that our enemy is ready, and if we move further you can see he is holding gun. Although the gun holding may be not right, and we have to make some changes in that. Okay, also he's not attacking us, so we will fix these issues. So for that purpose we will just play the game, and let's customize the gun position. Okay, so now we will move to scene view. We will select our enemy, we will press F, we will also move here, and inside this section we will open the shooter manager, and actually where are the aim option. So yeah, this was aiming option. So actually we should have one option of debug aiming here, so that will be actually where it will be. Okay, I will check where it can be. Yeah, come back, and actually here it will be, yeah, lock aim debug. So now you can see that our enemy is aiming. So now we can adjust the weapon. So select the weapon. Here you can see the assault rifle, and we can directly change the position of the weapon actually. Okay, also we can adjust the IK. So let's keep this position as it is, and we will change the IK. So let's move further, and here inside the zombie shooter, and we will move to IK option, which will be in shooter manager, and here it is, and here we can change the IK like this. Okay, so let's make it 0, and we will make a rotation like this and like this on the z-axis, and then y-axis, and that's nice. When we are happy with the result, definitely on x-axis as well, y-axis, z-axis, yeah, and on z-axis we can just make it 0.02 and in minus, I think. So yeah, so when we are happy with the position of IK and everything, then we can just copy this. You can definitely make it as better as you can, and when we are happy with the IK, we can just copy the component here and uncheck the play mode, and then we will open the shooter manager, and here we will paste it, the component values, and now everything is fine. So the last thing, we will select the shooter, and here you can see different options, and in shooter controller we will go to detection, and in detection we will select the detect layer, player, and player. Okay, like this. So now if we play, hopefully everything will work fine, and he will detect us and he will definitely shoot us as well. So hopefully you understand the basics, and on these bases you can develop your own game, and that will be much more nicer than this. Okay, let's see what will happen. Hopefully he will detect us and he will shoot us. Yeah, you can see he detects us and he is shooting us. I don't know why we didn't kill. Maybe the direction of the gun is not fine, but he can definitely kill us. Everything we have set up is absolutely fine, and we will be killed after fine hitting. So that's nice. We have successfully added the gun zombie, and we have added the simple melee zombies as well. And if you want to add zombies with swords, you can check my another courses on Invector. So in this way you can develop your game. Now I will not show you that how you can make the levels, for example, how you can do that you can create some trigger point, and when the player reached to the certain point, the finishing point, the new level will be loaded. Okay, and this thing I already have showed you in other courses, so I will not explain this in this course. This course was specific for mobile controls of Invector, and hopefully you understand the main logics. So that's it for this video. Finally we can just go to build settings and we can develop our game for Android by clicking on build and run. So that's it for this course, and in next video we will move further, and definitely the winning levels, and from one level to another level, and that type of options you will find in the another course, which is ongoing course on Invector, the third-person shooter game. So I will show you that process there. Okay, that's it for this video. Let's meet in next video. Allah Hafiz.